Good morning. Monday morning. How are y'all? Melissa. Oh, wait. No, it's not Melissa that lost her chickens. Who lost her chickens? I can't read this fast. I feel your pain. I lost 2 chickens and all my pigeons. And then Shane put a trap out and we caught a possum, not a raccoon. I'm like, ugh. Thank you, Jane. I don't think this shirt really matches, but I was so hot this morning that I really didn't care. I mean, that's really like bright orange and this is kind of rust, but I don't have tours today. All I have to do is go get some vegetables for queso. So I'm just gonna not care that I don't match. It blends with my hair. I bought new overalls. I bought 2 new pairs of overalls. Y'all, this tells you how jacked up I am when it comes to my weight and what is it called? Metamorphosis? Is that what it's called? Where you're jacked up over your size and all that stuff. Like it is like terrible. So I have never really ordered from Shein before. You know what I'm talking about? That app or whatever. I don't know if it's an app. Well, I ordered a bunch of clothes from Shein. And I thought Shein is kind of a cheap store. And you know how like when you buy from a cheap store, you usually have to upsize, you know what I'm talking about? So I ordered all kinds of stuff that looks so cute on the mannequin or the girl. Like there were little overalls and little rompers, and the girl in the model, she looks so cute. She looks so cute. Well, I was feeling fat at the moment, but let me back up. The reason I was jacked up is because I was going on vacation with my son, right? And I was going shopping just looking for some shorts because I don't have any. And everything I tried on did not fit me. And I was so jacked up. And so then I was like, I'm just going to order some cheap shorts off Sheen because this is stupid for me to be this big. And so I ordered all extra larges because I was feeling fat. I have never laughed so hard in my life when I got those clothes in the mail. They they were so big. But see, like in the moment when I'm having a fat day, I feel like I am an extra large. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, I am an extra large. So then I make stupid decisions because I'm in emotional mind thinking I'm fat, like, you know what I mean? So then I order all these extra larges and none of them fit me. So then in the same emotional mind, I ordered new overalls. And I thought that I was in a large overalls. I look like rerun in these overalls. I probably should send them back. I don't feel like it. Do y'all ever do that? You're like, I'm not. So my little Sheen clothes or whatever it's called, I called my aunt and I said, listen, I have brand new clothes. I have probably $150 worth of clothes. I don't feel like sending them back. Do you want to try them on? So I gave them all to my aunt. And then all these overalls, I look like rerun. And, but I don't know if y'all do that when you get, when I know a lot of people, a lot of women have that hang on. I saw somebody write it and now I can't find it. Body dysmorphia, is that what it's called? A lot of women have that, and It is so crazy, and I think I've told you this before, but I had lost a ton of weight, and I used to when I was washing clothes, I would get the clothes out of the dryer, and I would hold up the blue jeans, and I was like, "There is no way these blue jeans fit me." There's because they look like little kids, and I was like, "There's no way." And so, like, I would have to go try them on because I was thinking that they shrunk in the dryer and they would not fit me. And they would fit me, and I'm like, "How do these fit me?" Like, I don't understand. My it is messed up. So, over the weekend, I was like, "This is out of control. This is out of control. I'm over here ordering extra large crap. I'm order like, nothing fits me. I am really jacked up in the head. Like, what am I gonna do about this? This has had a hold on me my entire life. Like, it has sent me to dialysis. It has sent me into rehab multiple times. It is like, when is enough, Judy? Like, when is enough? And I was sitting there Sunday morning, and I was asking myself, I was like, is this going to rob you of your happiness your entire life? Are you really going to let this control you? And I was thinking in my head, yes, it's been controlling me since I was 18 years old. Really, probably before then, I just didn't know it. And I was like, what do I mean, I have been in rehab. I keep having to start over. Like it, but then I thought in my head, I don't know if you've had to start over on a diet 100 times like me. Probably like we are all kind of alike, right? We're all in this together. And I thought when I did Weight Watchers 3 years ago, it teaches you to eat right. It's not a quick fix. It's not a shot. It's not a magic pill. You literally have to eat right. And I thought, this is the ticket. I've learned to eat right. I've learned to eat in moderation. No, starting all over again. All I got on the scales Sunday and I weighed 163 pounds and I nearly fell out in the floor. I've not one other time in my life I've weighed that. And I was like, this is out of control. And this is robbing me of my joy. This is robbing me of my happiness. It is time to get this crap under control. If you can give up protein shakes and start drinking vodka, you can do anything, Judy. You can, because I will tell you, giving up Coke Zero is the hardest thing to me. And now I drank one and it was disgusting to me. So I know that your brain is all in control of where your happiness is and all that. You just got to figure out what robs you of your joy. And then ask for help. Because you can't do it alone. If you could do it alone, you'd have already done it, right? So, like, I can't do this whole like eating right, yo-yo dieting. I'm not good at it. It's either overeating or starving. There's nowhere in between. And so I said to myself, what are you gonna do? And the first thing I was doing is Googling the diabetic shot and how much it cost. Like, I was looking for the easy way out. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I need a lifestyle change. And so I joined Weight Watchers again because I feel like, now this is just me personally, but I feel like that Weight Watchers teaches you to eat real food, go out to eat, make good decisions. I just feel like I fell off the wagon. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're like me and have started over 500 times, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I feel like that you're not a failure when you keep starting over. You're not. You're a failure when you don't start over, when you just give into it and go, because I was almost giving into it. I was like, Judy, you are 53 years old. Why are you so obsessed with your weight? You're becoming elderly. You're now middle aged, headed towards, senior citizen. Why do you care? And on top of it, this is another thing. I am in menopause. I told you that last week. This girl is on fire. I am so hot. I am waking up 4 and 5 times in the middle of the night. And I know from talking to enough women that have been in menopause and talking to Larry's doctor, because he had to go on hormones for his cancer and he went in menopause, and they told him your waist is going to expand being in menopause. They told Larry that. They were like, you're going to gain weight. So get ready for it. And I know that for women, when you hit menopause, it all changes and you spread out. And I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. And this is probably too much information. I'm just being honest. But it's bad when you put on your underwear and your underwear is too tight and your bra is too tight. Like you're out of control when you have to upsize your underwear. So I joined Weight Watchers and I was one day successful. One day. So I'm going to try my best to make better decisions because I want to overcome menopause. I'm like, okay, it is here. I am on fire. I am going to call the doctor today to get on some type of hormone replacement because I literally feel like, for all you women that have been in menopause, God bless you. Because I've only done it for 2 weeks and I literally cannot sleep. It's awful. It is awful. I'm becoming blind because I just took my glasses off. I don't feel like fixing my hair. I'm too hot. So anyway, I joined Weight Watchers and I don't want to become obsessed. Like, I look at pictures of me 3 years ago and I am wafer thin. Like, I am this big around thin. It's awful. I look terrible. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go overboard the other way. I just want to be healthy. I want to feel good mentally. It's not so much physically, like looking. I'm kind of a little bit over that. I just want to be happy. I want to, when I put on a pair of blue jeans, not to have a muffin top and constantly be going like this. You know how you go like this when you got a fat roll? You're like pulling your shirt out of your fat roll. I don't want to do that anymore. It messes with me mentally. I just want to be healthy. I want to be happy and healthy, and I'm not there. Okay, moving on to the next subject. I'm going to tell you this real quick. I'm not going to be posting about like my health journey on social media. I mean, I might talk about it here on my live, but if you feel my pain, you are more than welcome. I don't post on there like terribly a lot, but I have a page that I started umpteen years ago. Okay, not that long. A couple of years ago, I forgot the name of the page. This is it. I know. See, I only have 118 followers, okay? It's a small page. But if you are feeling my pain and you're on the struggle bus with your weight and it's got you mentally jacked up like me, you're not alone. If you have an eating disorder and you don't like to talk about it, hey, I'm your girl. Okay. So y'all are welcome to follow me on this page. I don't post terribly a lot, but it's just a safe place to come. I talk about in order to be healthy, you have to be spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I want to add one thing to that: financially. I Because I'm gonna tell you, finances will jack your brain up. If you've never had like financial trouble, it will totally jack you and rob you of your happiness. So if you struggle with spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, or financially, this page is a safe place to come, and I will tell you how jacked up I am. And you're not alone, sister or brother. You're not alone. So, if you need encouragement, or if you need to go, I just need somebody, like, I need somebody to talk to. There you go. Here's your free, free place to come for other people that are just like us. Okay. Now, did y'all watch my YouTube video Saturday? I said in my YouTube video that I was going to talk about what I had learned from going through trying to get approved for Medicaid, understanding what happens when you start getting to the point where you need assistance, that you can't take care of yourself. And I will tell you, I've been, obviously I'm 53, so I've been through the teenage years. They're awful. they're awful. 20s are awful. 30s, 30s and 40s were pretty decent for me. 50s is really good for me. But I'm going to tell you something. When you get to the point of not being able to take care of yourself and having to depend on other people for help, I've watched my mother do it. I've watched my grandmother do it. And now I'm watching Larry do it. I'm here. I'm here to tell you right this minute. If you do not put tools in your pocket and you begin to get to that age where you need assistance, you're gonna sink. Because I feel like that when you start getting to the age where you need help, you need someone to live with, or you need to go to a nursing home, or all these things, you're faced with, dementia and all. I'm telling you right now, if you do not put tools in your pocket, you're going to sit in the nursing home and hate your life. Or you're going to sit at your children's house and feel like you're a burden, or you have got to put tools in your pocket right now. What does that mean? Coping skills, reducing anxiety, reducing stress, handling disappointment, all those things that you're going to be faced with. If you do not learn how to put tools in your pocket to learn how to cope with losing your health and losing your mobility and living with your children, you're going to sink. You're going to be miserable, sit on the couch, be depressed, go to the nursing home, hate your life, not want to get yourself involved in activities. You're going to want to sit there and die. And what a way to end your life, to just want to die. If you do not put those skills, and if you don't know how to put tools in your pocket, listen, there is help available. You can go to a counselor. You can go to your preacher. You can go, there are plenty of places that you can go. I'm getting older and I don't know how to deal with this stage in life. But if you don't physically tell someone that I'm having a hard time with this stage in life, you're gonna be miserable. I've watched it over and over and over and over. And if I'm bringing out the preaching stick, you need to listen to me because getting older sucks. You hurt, your body hurts, your vision goes, your hearing goes, you can't drive no more. All those things happen. And if you do not put those tools in your pocket to deal with getting older, you're going to be miserable. Okay. So, in my video, I talk about we are at the stage with Larry where we're beginning to apply for Medicaid. If you don't know, because you know what? If you're my age, you don't know because you've never dealt with applying for Medicaid and you don't really know how it works. So basically, you have to spend all your money and be dead broke and then apply for Medicaid. If you have anything in life, you ain't getting approved. You have to be dead broke for Medicaid to take care of you. It's really sad. So if you've worked really hard in your life and you have like property or CDs or savings, well, you have to even your life insurance. If you've paid your life insurance premium your whole entire life, well, you got to go down to the bare minimum. You have to have less than $2,000 in your checking account to apply for Medicaid. So you have to sell your property. They take over your life insurance. Like it's a real fun. See, if you don't have tools in your pocket, when you find out, I've paid for life insurance my whole life. I've had this premium since like I was in my 20s, and now I can't leave a dime for my children. No, you sure can't. If you don't go ahead and give it to your children now, you have to give it to them. Now, I don't know if every state is different, but basically, um, you have to be down to nothing. Well, Larry's property that he lives on is my grandparents. Larry's my stepdad, and so my mother is the one who inherited the property. Well, I guess I should say my mother and Larry. My grandparents split the land between their 3 kids, and my mother and Larry, when they got married, moved to that property. So, so we've began to apply for Medicaid. Well, the property is in Larry, me, and my brother's names. And so Medicaid said in order to approve Larry, we have to sell a fourth of the land. And that's easy. Larry could sell it to me and my brother, and we can buy it. And then, like, it's $30,000. So Greg and I, my oldest brother, can both split it, pay $15,000 a piece, and give it to Medicaid, and then we own the property, whatever. But we can't do that because I have another brother that's own it that is homeless. He's on the streets. We don't have a address for him. He won't answer the phone. He won't answer text messages. I have 3 weeks. To try to get him to sign the paperwork so that we can buy the property, and it ain't gonna happen. I'm here to tell you right now. So I contacted a lawyer. I've contacted a lawyer. So just to let you know, so when you contact a lawyer to handle all this, you have to pay for it. Like, it can't, I mean, your loved one is dead broke now. So, like, you're the one who has to pay for the lawyer to get all this worked out. So, to make a long story short, the lawyer said there is a way around Greg and I selling the property without my brother. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about once Larry sells his fourth of an acre, I mean, fourth of the property. That is uncertain. We don't know if we can sell Larry's property without my brother. Probably not. So, my stepdad's longevity of care is affected by someone that has made really poor choices in life, and he don't care. So there's a good chance, possibly, that he may have to move back in with me. The other the so basically this week I find out what Medicaid says. Like, they may allow us to give them $30,000 without selling the property. I don't know. I have no idea what's fixing to happen. So, probably the lawyer's supposed to call me back today to confirm whether we can sell Larry's portion without my brother. I'm supposed to find out that today or tomorrow. Then I'm supposed to find out what Medicaid is going to do. And I'll tell you my fears. It's not that I don't want Larry to move back home with me. That's not it. It's just that since he's been in the nursing home, he's gone to therapy every single day and he's walking like a champ. And someone's feeding him 3 meals a day. And the doctor sees him every single week. And when he moves back here, I can't get him to do it. And so when he moves back here, he wants to sit on the couch and just die. And so it's very difficult to deal with when you're dealing with someone that doesn't have tools in their pocket, that's dealing with their health declining. So I don't know what's fixing to happen, but you know what? I've learned a lot. I've learned, obviously I've learned about Medicaid. And if you didn't know anything of this about Medicaid, whew, they difficult to deal with, just letting you know. It's not that much fun to deal with Medicaid. If I didn't have tools in my pocket, I would probably get in left field too, dealing with Medicaid. But I know in my heart that at the end of the day, whatever's supposed to happen will happen. If Larry's supposed to live with me, he'll live with me. If I'm supposed to take care of Larry and not be open to the public, that's what happens. I do feel teary-eyed about it all. Just because I've worked so hard to get where I am today. And I'm like, why? Like, what? Like, why is this being taken away from me? And it's not being taken away from me. It's not like I'm losing my animals or, things like that. It's not the end of the day. It's not like Leroy's up for sale. You know what I mean? It's just, I have to shift my focus. And if I didn't have the correct tools in my pocket, this would overwhelm me. But I'm okay. And the reason I'm okay, because I know that I'm smart enough to figure it all out. I'm smart enough to figure out how to make income without people coming to my farm. I'll figure it out. I don't know how I'll do it. I don't know if I'm selling t-shirts or I don't know what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm supposed to be learning something from this. I know that I can't change Larry or my brother. I can't change them. My brother is not signing the paperwork. My brother didn't even show up to court for his divorce and he lost everything. So you think he's going to show up for this? No. And so I know at the end of the day, I can't change anybody, but I can change myself. And that's really what prompted me to go back on Weight Watchers and stuff, because my jacked up brain about my weight is in the way of all of this. And that doesn't make sense, but I'm out of control because I'm in a hurry and I don't eat properly and I don't plan ahead and all those things. I just grab because I'm hungrier and I don't think. And I thought in my head, I need to shift my focus on something that I can control. And I can control me making good decisions for myself. So I'm going to shift my focus and I'm going to concentrate on coming up with new recipes, shopping at the grocery store and eating healthy, eating fresh vegetables, eating lean meats. I'm going to shift my focus on all this Medicaid bull crap, brother bull crap, and I'm going to shift my focus on something I can control, which is myself. And what is interrupting my happiness within myself? And that is the fact that I cannot control my eating. And so I told myself, maybe if I shift my focus and work on myself and quit trying to fix Larry, I am notorious for being a cheerleader. As a matter of fact, when I went to see him Thursday, I took him to lunch Thursday. And so I had a meeting with Medicaid that day when I found out we were going to have to sell his property and all, and like everything was just. And I feel like, I don't share everything with him, but he asked a lot of questions. Are you paying my bills? Did you pay my Blue Cross? And I told him, because he said, because he understands Medicaid. And so we got in the car. The nursing home told me that he is wanting a hot dog every day. And he does that. He gets stuck on things. And I said, listen, at this point in life, if he wants a freaking hot dog every day, let him have it. As long as he's eating. At least he's eating. So I said, come on, I'm going to take you to lunch today. He's walking great. From physical therapy for the past 3 months, he is walking really good. So he walks to the car and I said, hey, let's me and you go get a vegetable plate, because there's this place called Charlie B's and they have fresh vegetables and like country cooking. And I said, come on, let's go get a vegetable plate. No, I don't want a vegetable plate. I'm like, what do you want? I was just thinking about a corn dog. And I'm like, I just got you out of the nursing home to take you to eat anywhere you want. Steak dinner, I don't know, vegetables and hamburger steak, and you want a flipping corn dog. Mm-hmm. So we went to Sonic and he got a corn dog. Whatever. So then he asked me to drive him. He said, are you in a hurry? I said, no. And he goes, will you drive me to my house? I said, well, I don't have a key to get in your house. And he goes, I just want to drive in the driveway. And I was hesitant to do that because I didn't want it to trigger him. So we get in the car after we eat his corn dog, and he starts crying. And he says, I can't afford a birthday present. I can't afford to buy anybody supper. And I said, stop. Here goes the cheerleader in me. I'm like, stop. We're not going there. We're going to find our blessings behind all that's happened. Number one, I've never left your side. I'm your stepdaughter, and I'm the only one that has never left your side. You have lived with me for 7.5 years. I took you to radiation in Birmingham every day. Like, I've never left your side. So that's a blessing to have a stepdaughter that loves you unconditionally. So I tried to help him find all his blessings because he couldn't see them. He was stuck in, I ain't got no money. And it's because when you get older in life and you have to start paying for a caregiver and you have to start paying for all these things, getting your money down for Medicaid, if you don't have the tools in your pocket to go, I'm fixing to be dead broke. It's awful. It is absolutely awful to work your whole entire life to save your money to lose it all. It's awful. And this point in life, I think he's 77. He doesn't have the mental capacity at this age and having dementia and not understanding life. He doesn't know how to cope. He doesn't know how to reach in his pocket and go, okay, I am officially dead broke. So this freaking sucks. So what do I need to do to take care of my mental health that I don't sit here and think all day long that I am dead broke? Well, first of all, you have this wonderful nursing home that you live in. You have 24-hour care for nurses, RNs, and doctors around the clock. You have 24 days I'm 24 days. That's an hour. 7 days a week, physical therapy. Medicaid's paying for all your medicine, all your doctor visits, everything. Judy can still come here once a week, take me to lunch. There's so many blessings, but if you can't see your blessings when you're in the midst of a storm, you're going to lose out and you're going to hate your life. And you're going to sit here and go, I'm just a burden. I'm just a burden to everybody. Now I ain't got no money. I'm just stuck in this place. And I mean, it's just awful. And for someone that loves a loved one, seeing them go through this transition and seeing them not have any coping skills, it's depressing to me. I mean, when someone's sitting here going, I just want to die, just want to die. And you're like, well, then if you're just going to die, then I'm going to quit coming because I can't sit here and listen to Debbie Downer every day. Like, I'm killing myself to make sure everything is intact and in place. But like, when you can't see the blessings when you're in the midst of a storm, it's like, like being able, like when you're in a storm and let's just say you have to go to a nursing home, let's just say, and you're like, I'm not happy with this. This is robbing me of my joy and happiness to sit in this flippin' nasty nursing home every day. Let's just say that your thought process is like that. Trying to find, because I don't think God stops teaching us lessons at a certain age. I think it's evolving. I think there's always lessons to be learned. There's always gratitude that you can have no matter what you're going through. And it's easy for like me to say, hey, let's look at your blessings that you have going on right now. It's because I've not been in his shoes. But if I, as the outcast, stop myself and go, let me stop and let me get in his shoes for a minute. This is a man that when he was young, they didn't really talk about getting help for mental health. And Larry has severe depression and anxiety. Always has. But he was never, back when he was young, no one took their children to a psychiatrist to go, hey, they're having coping skills. They won't go hang out with friends. They're staying home all the time. My son is 40 years old, still living at home with his mother. Like, what's wrong? Why doesn't he want to get out on his own? Like, why is he never dated? Like back when he was young, it was just understood. That was just his personality. You know, okay, your son's 50 years old and won't drive the interstate. Okay, well, as a parent, if my kids were 25 and wouldn't drive the interstate, I'd be like, ding, 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 something's wrong. But back then, they didn't recognize that. Mental health wasn't that important. It wasn't really understood. So therefore, there's no one been able to help him get through coping skills to overcome his anxiety, to get medication for it, to get help for it. Instead, it was just, well, he doesn't date. He lives at home. Yeah, he's in his 40s and he lives at home and he doesn't drive the interstate. No one saw that. And then when he comes to live with me, and I see all this and I don't understand it because I never lived with him. He never raised me. My mom and him got married after I was out of high school. I didn't live at home. So when he goes and moves in with me and I start seeing this pacing the floor and having a panic attack for going to the doctor and scared to drive in Coleman, I'm like, what is this? And it mimics dementia because he gets stuck on things. If you went into his house, you would see that he's not OCD. He's a hoarder. He hoards things. He buys. Greg and I must have found 15 brand new pairs of shoes that have never been taken out of the box. And as a matter of fact, they're so old that the soles have literally come off the shoes and they've never been worn. That's how old they are. Like there's things that I've seen that I don't understand. And I had to kind of go through this trying to figure it out myself because I didn't know even though I understand mental health, I'm like, does he have dementia? Like, what is this? Why do we have 27 loaves of bread in the freezer from 1946? Like he was hoarding bread from like the 70s. Okay, it wasn't that old. But I had to go figure all this out myself because I didn't understand what was going on. And then when the cancer doctor says, okay, we're going to do physical therapy because radiation is going to take a toll out of you and I don't want you falling. And he cries like a 5-year-old over therapy. I'm like, and the doctor's looking at me and I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. And his anxiety is so severe. He's scared he's frightened, and his anxiety and depression is real. Sometimes like when we're out in public and you see somebody's different from you, let's just say Let's say you got someone in your family that fights depression and they're a hypochondriac. They always think they're sick. And you're like, oh, Sue gets on my nerves. She's always sick. She's always, something's wrong. They're always checking for cancer. Like, oh my gosh, here we go. She can't come to the family event because something else is wrong. She's dying. You make fun of her because she has hypochondriac. She's a hypochondriac. And that's a serious problem. That's not something to make fun of someone. That is a mental health problem. That is an undiagnosed mental health issue. And instead of understanding it, we as individuals start going, oh God, here goes Sue. She's got cancer. She's got cancer again. Oh Lord, she thinks she's dying. You do that. You do that. And it's just like, you know, I had my niece here a couple of weeks ago, and I think she's 11, and she wanted to go to Starbucks. And we drove up to the drive, and there was this guy there that had on earrings and his nails painted, and it was a guy, and he talked very feminine, and she starts busting out laughing. And I was like, oh no, 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 no. We're not doing this. I understand when someone's different like that, it's a shock. And when someone's over the board feminine, when they're a man, it is a shock. And sometimes you can't help but to chuckle because you're like, it kind of catches you off guard. So after we went through the drive-through, I pulled over and I said, let's me and you talk for just a minute. And she's like, what? I said, you just laughed in that guy's face. And he goes, well, she starts telling me her and her sister and brother come to Starbucks all the time and weirdos work there. And she starts telling me that Sterling, her sister, was laughing at this guy because same thing, And I said, let's stop for just a minute. I said, my son is gay. And if he was and he works at Starbucks, as a matter of fact. And I said, if someone came up to the drive-through, no, let me back up. I said, if you were in Starbucks and you came up to the drive-through and Vanson was standing there and Vanson had his fingernails painted and talked feminine, would you laugh in his face? She said, no. I said, why? She said, well, because he's Vanson. I said, well, that person in Starbucks is someone's kid. And maybe they're not related to you. And then maybe you don't understand what's going on, because I don't either. I said, but laughing in their face, like there is something off with someone that can't figure out their identity. There is a lot of mental health issues going on when someone is trying to figure out, why am I a guy? And why do I have a high-pitched voice? Why do I have a feminine looking body? Like, why am I like this? They're having to go through this transition to figure out what the crap they are. They're like, when they're young, I watched this, okay? So I can talk from experience. But you watch this child trying to figure out how to fit in. And they don't fit in with the boys, and they don't fit in with the girls. And then they grow up in life and they're trying to figure out why are they different? Why are they different? And then to work and someone come to the drive-through and laugh in your face is hurtful. So I began to tell her, I'm like, I know you don't understand. I don't either. I don't understand why this guy wants to paint his fingernails, have on earrings, and talk feminine. I don't understand it either. I said, but don't ever just laugh in someone's face like that. And it's the same thing, like I said, talking about Sue, that's a hypochondriac. So many times we just want to bust out laughing and make fun of someone when there's mental health issues going on and they can't figure out why they're always sick. Always sick. You want to make fun of them, just like you want to make fun of the person in Starbucks because we don't understand it. But if you get away and break it down, you'll feel sadness in your heart. Instead of laughing in the Starbucks person's face, you can go, get in their shoes and go, I don't know what this person's going through because I have never experienced it. I've never experienced having masculine ways. I'm a female and I've never had that. So how can I judge this person when I've never been through it? Do I think it's right? I just don't. I'm going to say for myself, I just don't understand it. I don't. Just like I don't understand Aunt Sue that's a hypochondriac. Why do you want to constantly think something's wrong with you? I think what Aunt Sue is trying to say is I'm depressed and everything hurts inside me. So I know personally that depression causes physical pain. I've been there. I can speak. Depression causes physical pain. And sometimes you don't know how to say, my stomach hurts, is I'm jacked up mentally today and I'm not feeling it. It's hard to distinguish between a mental health problem and my stomach hurts, or a mental health problem and I can't figure out if I'm a guy or a girl. But back in the day when Larry was young, mental health wasn't even a topic. It wasn't even a topic. So I can sit here and go, I can sit here and go, here we go. We got a doctor's appointment. So we don't, because when he has a doctor's appointment, we don't eat for like 24 hours. And I have to sit here and watch him not eat for 24 hours and pace the floor. He goes out the door, sits, in the door, sits, out the door, sits. And I'm sitting here going, would you just stop pacing the flipping floor? We will leave in a minute. Eat breakfast. But see, it's easy for me to say that because I don't have anxiety when I go to the doctor. It's easy for me to judge and go, oh God, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're not eating supper because we have a doctor's appointment just to get all we're doing is getting our prescriptions refilled and we're not eating. But to him, it's serious. It is a serious problem. He has severe anxiety when he goes to the doctor. It's a mental health undiagnosed problem that he's never dealt with. And if you are to the age where you can get help, you need to go get help to put those tools in your pocket so that when you get older, or even dealing with life where you're at, you can fix it. You can fix it. And I'm going to tell you, just like I talked about in the beginning of this conversation, I talked about I'm starting all over again with losing weight. I have failed so many times, and here I go again. And someone like, look, if I now I'm speaking for my children, but I think I know what they would say. If I called, well, actually, I messaged Vanson because Vanson and I went on Weight Watchers together and we were both successful. And I sent him a message and I said, I joined Weight Watchers again. He didn't, I don't think he responded to me. Let's see. No. And you know why? Here she goes again. Here goes mom, jacked up over her weight, skinny, fat, because they've sat and watched it. They've seen the mental health problem with me, and they're like, and I bet if I called my older son and said, "Hey, I'm on Weight Watchers again," mother, please, really, mother, oh dear Jesus, because they would do to me what I would do to Larry over going to the doctor because they've seen it over and over and over and over. Here she goes again. Here she goes. Here she goes. Because they've seen it. And it's a mental health problem. It is. It's all mental. It's all, every bit of it. And whatever you struggle with, don't let it screw your life up the rest of your life. Start over. If you have to start over 500 times, it's better than just not starting over. That's the way I look at it. And the things that, what time is it? I'm just talking up a storm. The things that life is hard. Life is so difficult, and we all, just like Lester talks about, we're all a survivor of something. We are. Every one of us struggle with something. I mean, maybe you're not the guy in Starbucks, or maybe you're not Aunt Sue, but you something else. You might be Aunt Judy and struggle with the whole eating crap. You struggle with something. And if you can let it define you, it's going to ruin your life. And it doesn't mean every time you have to start over, it feels so frustrating. It's like, here we go. Because even I'm not my children, I'm myself, and I'm like, here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go. Here she goes. And I'm sure even Shane, because I told him that I was starting Weight Watchers, like even like with the Coke Zeros. Why are you doing that? Why are you stopping drinking sodas? 'Cause I can. It's like it's the only way. I have to constantly discipline myself. If I don't, I'll be sitting in the red chair crying all day long, wishing I was dead. That's what I would do. So I have to constantly discipline myself because I have no discipline. I have to prove to myself, okay, this Coke Zero has an effect on you. You say you can't give it up. I bet you can. I bet you can. Okay, you're scared to death to drive the tractor. I bet you can do it, Judy. Uh, you know, driving the what is it called? Not excavator. Is it excavator? No. Skid steer. Never been on a skid steer in a day in my life. Scared to death to drive it. And if I probably would learn and then Shane would go away, I'd probably be fine doing it myself. But he makes me nervous. But I overcome my fears because they get in the way. They get in the way of my happiness. And I'm sure there's fears you have that get in the way of your happiness. And I feel like together here at 7 o'clock in the morning, I feel like we can sit here and take a moment to sit down, be still, and go, what are my issues? If I told my kids I was going to start this, would they go, oh, Lord, here she goes? What do I have a problem with? What robs me of my joy? What can I overcome to make myself better? What tools do I need to put in my pocket so that when I'm faced with, and I've even talked about this before, you know how some people get really dependent of their spouse? Like, I can remember my aunt. My uncle did all the bills. She never worked. She was a stay at home mom, housewife, and he died before her. She had no clue how to do anything. And when he died, she pretty much laid down and died with him. She cried every day. I don't know how to do my bills. I don't know how much money we have. I have no idea what we owe. And she was left feeling so empty because she wasn't independent. She was dependent of her spouse. She depended on him for her happiness. She depended on him for her financial support. She depended on him for everything. And then when he was gone, she didn't know how to function. And she died a depressed person. And her children had to intervene because she literally didn't even know how to keep a checkbook. And I think about that, and I think about, like, those are things you need to know, because if your spouse died today, would you be okay? And if the answer is no, no, I don't know how to drive the tractor. No, I don't know how to cut the grass. No, I don't know what bills we have. Those are tools you need to put in your pocket, because death is going to happen. And anybody that's lost a spouse will tell you that. You have to you It's hard, I'm sure. I've never lost a spouse. So I can't personally say, but I can only imagine what it would be like to have your spouse by your side, your hero, every day, and then all of a sudden they're gone. And if you do not have coping skills in your pocket, you're going to lay down and die with them. And your kids are going to sit here and watch you go, well, mom's gone to pot, dad's passed away, she didn't know how to do anything. It's because we're depending on other people. You know, we've got to be independent. If you're depending on someone else for financial support, your happiness, all those things, you're headed for a dead end. You're headed for a dead end. And whatever it takes to get yourself on your feet so that you're okay if something happens is the best place you can be in. All right, guys. I don't know if I hit some hard spots with some of you today, because we did talk about hard things today. We've talked about some really hard things. But, at the end of the day, here on this page at 7 o'clock in the morning is a safe place to come. You're not alone. You're not. And I'm here. I need to get the preaching stick out. I'm here to tell you that you can do anything that you set your mind to. It's just making your mind up. And sometimes it takes a long time to get to the point that you're going to make your mind up because you have no self confidence. You think you can't do it. You think you can't do it. Me too. And you can do it. I'm here to tell you that you're stronger than you think you are. And when you overcome whatever is keeping you from being happy and being whole, once you start taking one, I have ate right for one day, and I already feel like a little bit taller from one day of eating right. When I stopped drinking Coke Zeros, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, that was hard. That was really hard. I think that's harder than eating right, personally. Um, I'm trying to find something, but you can set your mind. Once you set your mind to something, jeez, do I have any lipstick? When you set your mind to something, you can overcome anything. And what is that? But don't try to change other people. We're not trying to fix the world. We're not trying to fix our spouse. We're not trying to fix our children. We're not trying to heal somebody down the street, because we sometimes get caught up in helping, like healing thinking we can fix other people. We're good at that. We're fixers. We can fix other people, you know? No, the only person you can fix is yourself, and change yourself. Fix whatever is keeping you from moving forward, and start sticking those tools in your pocket. On Mondays and Wednesdays, when I go live at 7 a.m., I talk about real life crap. I do. I tell you, I share my life with you. I really do. And I share my life with you to fix myself, first of all, to be accountable. Why do I tell you that I join Weight Watchers? Because I need to be accountable. I do. Because I'm weak. I'm not good at this. I'll be the first to tell you. But together we can fix ourselves and find us a joy in our life. So remember, today is Monday and you have choices. You can sit it out or you can dance. And I hope you dance. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Bye.